Hey Loopers, Sabrina here with the Thought Loop podcast. It's only me right now. JL will probably join us next time. Nonetheless, I wanted to jump on the line really quickly to give you all a bigger breakdown about what is happening right now with the immigration crackdown. I know the team has already discussed some of it, but this is the sidebar segment and we fill in the gaps. As always, please be sure to check out other discussions the team has talked about. We love to hear your thoughts. So here we go. We are focusing right now on the trends in immigration policy and enforcement in the United States, particularly under the second Trump administration. There is significant shift in immigration policy and enforcement across the United States, driven by President Trump's agenda and the actions of Republican controlled states. And just so that you understand the term, immigration enforcement is basically how the government controls who can enter, stay, or be removed from the country. Okay, first off, we have the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis signed strict immigration laws to support Trump's deportation plans. One rule allows the death penalty for undocumented immigrants who commit serious crimes. Florida is also spending nearly $300 million to enforce these laws, hiring more officers and helping local agencies. Again, deportation means the formal removal of a foreign national from a country, typically due to a violation of immigration laws. Next, we have the state of Alabama. The Alabama Senate is pushing new immigration rules. Jails can check immigration status and collect DNA from undocumented immigrants. The state won't accept driver's licenses from other states if they don't require proof of citizenship. It will also be a felony to bring an undocumented person into Alabama. Senator Wes Kitchens, in a nutshell, stated these laws won't affect legal immigrants. Then we have the state of Georgia. The Georgia Senate passed a bill allowing lawsuits against local governments that don't cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, strengthening a law passed after the murder of Laken Riley. Laken Riley was a 22-year-old University of Georgia nursing student allegedly murdered by Jose Ibarra, a Venezuelan immigrant who authorities say entered the U.S. illegally. Now, here comes the crackdown on sanctuary city policies. A sanctuary city is a place that limits help to federal immigration officers to protect undocumented immigrants from deportation. The Trump administration and various states are actively targeting jurisdictions with sanctuary policies that limit cooperation with federal immigration authorities. There are so many legal challenges with all of this, loopers. Again, the Trump administration is using legal action against sanctuary cities. For example, the Department of Justice sued Chicago and Cook County, Illinois, alleging violations of federal law by not cooperating with immigration authorities. The lawsuit claims these policies have resulted in countless criminals being released into Chicago who should have been held for immigration removal from the United States. Penalties for noncompliance. States are implementing penalties for local officials who resist immigration enforcement. These penalties include lawsuits, fines, and even potential jail time. For the state of Georgia, Senator Blake Tillery, who is a Republican, described the goal as providing teeth to those who are being aggrieved by local governments and local officials who are not abiding by Georgia immigration law. His bill would allow lawsuits against those who implement sanctuary policies for the state of Tennessee, local officials who vote for sanctuary policies to felony charges, punishable by up to 6 years in prison. Wow, even the state of Wyoming, There's a bill pending in the Wyoming Senate would allow the governor to withhold state funds from counties, cities, and towns that adopt sanctuary policies. Local officials who refuse to cooperate could face felony charges punishable by 5 to 10 years in prison and a fine up to $20,000. And back to the state of Florida, the law signed by DeSantis requires the Attorney General to take legal action against local governments with non compliant policies, with fines up to $5,000 for officials who violate the ban on sanctuary policies. These new immigration laws are raising significant constitutional and legal questions. Loopers, please post any thoughts or questions you may have, and we will answer them. I want all of us to gain a better perspective and understanding on what is happening with all of this right now. So please ask away. They are talking about the death penalty. You have the local authority. There are concerns that the legislation could lead local police and sheriffs to detain immigrants for longer than they are supposed to under federal law out of fear of getting sued. Courts have repeatedly upheld the legality of the range of sanctuary laws. The laws do not allow local law enforcement to actively interfere with federal operation. With all of this going on, there are so many potential implications. You have increased fear and distrust within immigrant communities, potential for racial profiling by law enforcement, legal challenges, and court battles over the constitutionality of new laws, increased strain on state and local resources for immigration enforcement, and further polarization of the political landscape regarding immigration policy. This is a lot to take in, Loopers. We still want to hear your thoughts. Let this soak in and join in on the discussion. Sabrina here, signing out. See you later, Loopers.